I don't know why Periscope freezes for no reason. It just happens every time. It's such a killer to my audience. Does this happen to everyone else? It only happens to me, and it doesn't matter what phone I use. I can use the best phone, the worst phone. It just freezes me and locks me out. And maybe that's happening to like reduce the amount of followers I have because of the amount of influence I seem to be having. I'm not sure if that's the problem or whether it's just random. Oh, it happens with others? Okay. And so this guy desperately needs me to work for him tonight. Now the thing is, I have limousine work tonight, but also, I mean, I could try and get out of it, but I don't like to, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't like, oh, the noises. I don't like saying something to someone and then, you know, changing my mind. I don't work that way, right? And I just can't live with myself. It's very difficult to then live with myself afterwards. So we have the problem there. So I could do it because I do love the idea of driving trucks, and it's once in a while. But the biggest thing is my inability to say no to people and to this guy. And so I worked through it with my psych. It's just a hat, man. So yeah, I went through it with my psych. And he explained to me what would happen if you say no, what's your fear? And we went through a few things, and I said to him, my fear is that he'll never like me again, or he won't want to use me, which is sort of silly because I don't really want to do trucks anyway, but I do like them and I'll miss them if I don't do them. And he said, well, look, number one, he's been asking you for a year, and you haven't been able to make it over the last year, and he still wants you, and he still, so clearly the guy values you a lot. So I don't think he's going to, you know, not like you. But even if he did, what would happen? Work through it with me. And I said, well, there'd be a sting. I'd be upset about it. My memory would never let me forget it. So it would trigger in the future from now on with all the other negative memories I have of when someone gets upset or unintentionally hurt by me. And because, as you guys know, my ability to remember amplifies that pain. And he said... And then he said, yeah, but then you'd get over that particular point. So yeah, we would. So we really found the isolates. We were able to isolate the root of the problem, which is that saying no brings the feeling of rejection. And in my childhood, I was rejected quite a fair bit from about everybody, because back then I had not yet learnt, hey brother, had not yet learnt how to masquerade as a neurotypical. I'm gonna do it. All right, I'll do it. Is that better? Thank you, Helen. So basically, it comes back to the point that being autistic, hello everyone, hello, brought with it, being autistic, it's the terrorist hair. A new hat. I love this guy, he's looking after my wardrobe. This is awesome. So the idea of autism not only has the problem that being autistic has, but it has related problems which develop over the years. And one of them, oh, look, so I didn't show you what else I ordered. Hey, thank you so much, my dear.
Would you like salt and pepper as well?
Sure. Oh, you're a sweetheart. Look, what I love this. So this is what I ordered. Have a look. Beautiful. I have all protein here, chicken, bacon, salad. Driving in the mountains and listening. Oh, I love the mountains. Mountains is where I want my ashes to be after being cremated. Salt and pepper. I have to tell you guys, so everyone, I have amazing service at this shop. So if you ever come to Australia, a few hundred people are going to watch this. So you got to come to Miranda, to Enclava Cafe with these beautiful people. And yeah, amazing.
Thank you.
Great service. Thank you. I love great service. Great service and great food. It's like, it's so hard to find. Bacon. Guilty. Oh man, excuse me, just got to take off the gloves I got back from Jibril. Turns out that Jibril stole my gloves. Freaking bastard. I got him now. It's all good. We get more and more characters. So this shirt, right? I was 17 when I got this shirt, and now I'm almost identically the same size as I was at 17. Great quanta. Can't really see what I'm doing. Is that better? Who here thinks I look 40? Isn't that, touch wood, man. Touch whatever it is that's, you got to get some good things in life. Who are you, OJ Simpson? The gloves. The glove fit. You cannot acquit. So it comes down to how autism was related to rejection. And as a kid, reverse aging, Benjamin Button. I hear that, some people have told me that. Touch wood. So the idea of that rejection is so deep rooted into the autistic brain that from that you get traumatized even today as an adult when people reject you, because it gives the false equivalency. Take the hat off, you look less gay, but then I'll lose all my gay audience. And you know, statistically people who are gay have more money, so I might get more donations. This hat was my father's hat in Lebanon when he was a teenager, back when Lebanon was completely Western, so everyone wore these, you know, the old gentleman hats and the suits and the cigar. Yeah, that was from those days. So you can see, like, that makes this shirt look new. So guys, this is what you do. I ordered a chicken burger with no bread and with salad. Amazing. It's so good and it tastes amazing. I feel amazing. And I'm seriously, I still have yesterday's calories left over. I'm still filling up yesterday's calories. And I'm not even trying, touch wood. So I'm not trying to lose weight, and I keep losing it. So I told you, the mindset, learning how to eat, when to eat, what to eat, changes your whole life, which is amazing. So now, my body doesn't even crave stuff that it used to crave. And I've shifted my actual metabolic requirements. It took 3 years, but so worth it. If you start now, in 3 years' time, you'll be loving life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say no to this guy, and I'm going to get over it. And I'm going to realize that there is a sting in saying no, and it's going to hurt, and he may not want to talk to me again. Maybe. But in the end, it's not going to affect my life ongoing. And that's what I have to remember, and that's what the psych was telling me to do. Right? Next thing we spoke about. Happy Independence Day. Powerfully underused words. Good for you. Thank you. So the next thing. He was expecting me to come in, and in came Jibril. And if anyone here is off my private scopes, you will see who Jibril was. Anyway, so Jibril, he asked me why I had to feel the need to introduce Jibril into the public sphere. And I explained to him that, to me, my whole life I've been doing this. And this is a combination of scientific experiments using what you call a control. So the control is me. The control is what you use to measure all of the other marks against in trying to disprove or disprove your hypothesis, right? So since a kid, my hypothesis has been that humans treat you differently in general, depending upon how you appear to them, as opposed to who you are. That's why I have long hair. Interesting. So for me to test that hypothesis, what I've done over the years is I've ridden my electric fold-away bicycle. I have ridden my sled, which I built, my hybrid sled, which I still haven't shown you. I had my mountain bike, my racer, my convertible, the Lamborghini, a really bad cheap bomb car, and a regular car. And I've spoken about this before. I think it was in one of my YouTube videos on HF Autists. Something about how to make friends, science for the HF Autist or something like that. Ooh. Huh. So anyway, that's what I was explaining to him, and I like to see the different reactions in people so that I can understand how human beings interact with what they see in front of them. Now, what his hypothesis was, which I thought was interesting, was that why do you have to go to those extremes? And I didn't see them as extremes. But what he explained is that they look like extremes to autistic people because of your inability to recognize subtle facial expressions and variance in facial expressions, which I thought was unbelievably fascinating. I didn't even realize that, so I thought about it. And I thought, you know what? It's an interesting hypothesis that could make perfect sense, because that explains why I like to trigger people so much. So, you know, like my brother is a conservative, so I love to say like wacky leftist stuff in front of him to annoy him. And then when I see fake leftists, I love to say, like, I don't know, something awesome like go Trump or something, just to piss them off. So I love to piss everyone off. That's like my thing. But what he explained to me, yeah, I normally eat a lot faster than this. So what he explained to me was that you actually unaware that you're pissing them off, which is like you're actually hurting them emotionally. And I told him I didn't even realize that, which is really funny because he said I didn't. Then I thought about it, I'm like, that's not what I'm doing, which is exactly fitting what he was saying that I didn't realize. Because my brain is not aware of what other people are going through. Because what I have learned to realize as an autist, and this is what separates me from most autists, is that there is something I can't see that regular humans can see. So imagine if 20 people are sort of standing around something invisible and they are all agreeing that there's a table there. I can't see the table. I walk right through it, there's nothing there. I, in my brain, have to accept that they legitimately think that there's something there. And that's what it's like as the autist. Yeah, like we have a lot of empathy in the sense that now that I know that I'm hurting people, I don't want to do that. I would never want to do that in my wildest nightmares. Right? But we don't understand that someone else is going through that. Thank you, yeah. And so what I have been trying to do is understand people's reactions by saying something which to me has no emotional content. So, you know, I might say to somebody, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the thing is, like, even today, and I said to my psych, I said, even today, I don't see the table, right? But I act as if it's there so that I can communicate with neurotypical people. So I see the table intellectually, but I don't feel or sense the table in any way. And that is an amazing new concept, which never occurred to me before today. Like, I sort of figured out intellectually that I learned to realize that humans see stuff, but the way that I just put it in that analogy today, to me was so mind-blowing. because I realize that I will probably never sense it, and I can only infer its existence by what other people see. And what's interesting is that that's actually sort of related to religion in a way, because you can infer the presence of something deeper from other people's observations. Now, I'm not going to go to the conclusion and say which God it is. That's not my point. The point is, that's a similar analogy. This is such a good meal. Amazing. And you feel good afterwards. That's what I love about these high density foods. Density, nutrient, calorie rich foods. You just get up and you feel like when Superman gets the rays of light on him. You just feel like you could punch through a freaking building. Now I got my watermelon juice. So good. Who doesn't want lean? Doesn't that relate to your last scope? I guess all my scopes are related in a way. Subconscious awareness, but that is an oxymoron. Why? I'm trying to get my onion onto the fork. It's not letting me. Damn you. This is winter in Sydney. 80 degrees and blue skies every day. So here is your mayonnaise, which I don't really like. That's actually nice. I changed my mind. I like the mayonnaise. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my watermelon juice, put the serviettes to hold the phone up, and here is my watermelon juice. Cheers to everybody. That is so good. I feel my body supercharging. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So they were the they were the biggest things I learnt with my psych. And you guys notice, right? A lot of you message me and you tell me about how these scopes make you think, and how they fill your mind, and they make your mind tickle, and they probably help elevate your mood. And that is exactly why I see my psych, because that's exactly what that does to me, and it makes you so much healthier. So now that I'm healthier, I can tell you what happened to me 2 days ago. So this mayonnaise is going to go in yesterday's calories. The other thing I did yesterday when I was scoping on Gapversity, on the Gapversity channel and the 6 Lane channel, I was actually pedaling in the US. Oh, you gotta have it. So good. We tend to have a lot of tropical fruits out here in Sydney all the time. Must be because of our weather. Oh man, this is so good. That's one way to do it. And always leave in all the pulp and everything. If you ever feel you want to get rid of the pulp, add ice cream, but don't get rid of that stuff. That's the stuff that makes you good. Orange juice, because that stuff, after a while, your body will recognize it and you will feel it tingle. You get this boost. I don't even want, like 90% of the time, I don't want lollies or chocolate. Seriously, like when you have this stuff, and I had mandarins for breakfast, you know, and the mandarins, I just feel like, whoa, man. I feel like I can go do gym for like 3 hours, you know? like you just feel amazing compared to before. My old diet used to be lollies and chocolates, and so what you do is you slowly find the right foods that replace your desire. Yeah, you've got to try different things, but what you got to try, number one, real fuel, because your body wants the real fuel, but we have trained our bodies to actually want the sweet crap. But you can train it back. It just takes a while. It took me this is my 3rd year now. I started December of 2014. And I was like, and I couldn't walk properly. Now, like you've seen me, right? Touch wood. Like, this is what it looks like to be almost 40 when you live like this. It's so awesome. Touch wood, man. It's just the best feeling. Anyway, so yesterday, as I gave all my lectures, or poison your choice, yeah. And the thing is, the less food you eat for the nutrients, you thought I was so much younger. Why, my dear VIP guest for you. I get that all the time. I always get anywhere between 22 and 28 or something, which is awesome. Salamat po. You are welcome. Paalam. Alrighty, we're up to 29 people. And we have a lady who I bet is a cancer patient. Everyone has a story, huh? She's either a cancer patient or a very old lesbian. Paalam is goodbye. Oh, I thought it was you're welcome. Sorry. Amazing. So that was it, what I talked about with my psych. Thank you. I think that was it. I don't think there was anything else that I had to talk to you guys about. So I think I'm pretty much done. Did I miss anything I spoke about this? Oh, yes, sorry. The most important part, which happens every time. So on Monday, I was really down. In fact, I was probably one of my lowest points. Yeah, there you go. What's in the drink? Someone else can answer that question. The blood of the infidel. No, I'm kidding. So 2 days ago, I was sitting with some people, and my VIP scopers know pretty much with whom I was sitting and what it was about. So I won't tell you. Hey, no water. That's fine. No, you're a gem. Thank you. Just watermelon. No, also the blood of the infidel. No. Didn't you hear me? No, I'm kidding. And I was at one of my lowest points because I felt that all hope was lost. Because the only person who is not related to me, who understands that I am one in a few billion, is the only person who has credibility. And it's so funny because when someone says that you are something, when someone labels you something, right, what makes it hard, what makes it hard is that you can't fight back yourself, because by them accusing you, you lose your credibility, which is the ultimate in terms of irony. Because if you get accused of something, in a proper pro-West society, you should be innocent until proven guilty, but that's not how it works. You are guilty until proven innocent, and because of that, even though you're the one who has all the answers, nothing that you say is believable because of the fact that you were accused. Hey? So that is the nature of a backwards and corrupt society. I'm great, how are you? So I got to my lowest point. That's exactly right. So if I call you, I could do this. I could go up to any of you like Western guys, that's good. Fine. If you say fine, that means you're not from America. Someone who says fine is probably from the Middle East. That's how Trump manipulates people. It is how Trump manipulates people, but it's also how Dr. Robert Cialdini, who works for Hillary, manipulated people as well. Am I a student? I am a student. I'm a student of quantum mechanics and of a few languages. This is my coffee right here. Oh, I tell you what, So here's an interesting thing. You guys know I'm a scientist, right? And you know that I emotionally am not tied to Trump, right? But I have to admit, and this is where, nice to meet you too. I'm on the left, you know that. But I have to admit that Trump's Facebook message about happy Independence Day even to the haters and losers, I thought was hilarious. I could not stop laughing when I saw that message. That was funny. I'm sorry, that was funny. But you know, there's nothing wrong with laughing, right? It bonds us. You know, I don't have to support Trump, but the fact that that was funny, really, it bonds us, right? Us left and right. And we can love America for that reason. We can laugh about it and say, yeah, it's hilarious, right? And then you go back home and you go to church and I'm like, you know, I don't believe in that ridiculous stuff. And yet we still love each other. Like, it's just so good. Honestly, that's the stuff that makes us pro-West. Absolutely, humor can bond and cut, yeah. So honestly, happy Independence Day, even to the haters and losers. It's so funny. Laughter does not have an accent. That is awesome. Oh my God, can you please tweet that to me so I can retweet that? You and James and Liran and Shubi, you guys are meme machines, man. I love that stuff. I love it. I love memes like that. It's so funny. Yeah, it's like, it's so dumb, but it's so dumb that you just have to laugh, right? It's not like, and it's dumb, like, I am of the opinion that Trump knows it's dumb. That's the thing about what, like, you know, like, I'm sure Trump knows it's dumb and he doesn't care. And yeah, it's just so good. It's so good. Yeah, it was such a good tweet. You know, like, this is why, like, my guys on my side should be doing that. I reckon Tulsi Gabbard and Van Jones will learn how to do that. What's the bet Van Jones will take over the Democrat Party? I bet you any dollar. But I don't like his views on police. I don't like that at all. I have mad respect for police, man. It's not appropriate. That's why it's so funny. It's funny because it's so not appropriate. He just doesn't give a shit. Honestly, man, I want someone like, this is why I said, like, Duterte. Yeah, Duterte. Oh my God. You know, all you have to do, I'd say any one of my friends, yeah, he is. Any one of my friends on the left, right, who's on my side, if you want to not get triggered by Trump, go and look up Duterte. And I swear to you, Trump will look like, you'll love Trump. He'll look like Bernie Sanders next to Duterte, right? Duterte is he is an unstable maniac, man, that guy. He you know, like, at least, like, Trump says radical Islam. Duterte shoots him in the head, man. That's... Yeah. Duterte, man, the guy is nuts. He's not even on the media. You've got to go look him up, right? He made a command to all Philippines, right? He said, we're going to shoot them in the head and the heart. That just... What a... Like... That, honestly, like, Trump looks like a puppy dog next to him. So you look at that and it's nothing. Trump's just... He says stupid shit. You just got to laugh, you know? And it's good. Like, it makes the fake left triggered. I love that stuff. I love that stuff. I want to trigger them, and I love... Anyway, like, you know, I'm not a Trump supporter, right? You don't get the true Van Jones. Maybe. Look, I don't know enough about it, so I'll agree with you on that. The one of the things I loved about Trump the most was that Republicans hate him. Like, all of the Republican leadership hate him. And if there's anything I hate more in the world than most things, it is the Republican leadership. I despise them, like, and that's my bias, right? I despise them. You know, the Paul Ryans and the frickin', I won't even say their names, but I just, like, I tell you who, like for example, like, you know, I know we're not going to agree on this, but Bill Maher is basically, I'm with Bill Maher on almost everything except for his abuse of Trump. That's the only thing. He's gone ballistic on that. But I agree with him on, like, basically his views and my views are almost identical. Yeah, the rhino. Oh, I can't stand the rhinos, man. To me, the rhinos and Hillary Clinton are the same. It's this elitist mentality. Can't stand elitists. Can't stand them. Can't stand elitists. Oh my god. So yeah. So anyway, that was really funny. Yeah, so what happened 2 days ago? We're trying to get to that. So 2 days ago, I was sitting in a room. Yeah, no, they don't even care. That's the thing. That's why, and I've said this before, that's why I told you, I was saying I don't support Trump, but I understand why he's there. But I love Trump supporters because we don't agree on anything except the most important thing, which is we give a shit about the people, about the West. That's what we care. And we're going to, honestly, when the people take back America on both sides, then we can argue. Then I can sit with all of my top guests and say, you know, your beliefs, hey, merhaba, nas nasin iye. You know, we can have our arguments, but until then, I'm going to stick with the people, man, until we take the country and the West back. It's the only way. And it has to happen on both sides. On both sides. You know me, I'm a Democrat. I've been a Democrat my whole life. I denounced them a couple of weeks ago because they've been hijacked by the fake left. But, you know, the JFKs of the world, you know, the JFKs, the true Democrats, right? They have policies that you don't have to agree with. Hey, ciao, come stai? Bene? Spero che tu è molto bene. Tu sto bene. Tu stai bene. Tu stai bene. Mi dispiace molto perché non parlo italiano molto bene. Ho dimenticato l'italiano perché ho studiato l'italiano fra 4 anni. This is true. This is true. Like, if JFK was alive today, he wouldn't be a Democrat. So, you know, you can't have an argument with someone until you're both on the same playing field, right? So, like, you know, when you watch tennis, some people are for one guy, some people are for the other guy. And, you know, we fight it out. We're like, boo to one side or boo to the other. But in the end, we go home and we're all friends, right? Because we're playing the same game. That's the point, right? You guys, as Trump supporters, are on the other side of me, but we're playing the same game. But at the moment, we can't fight each other because we're defending the game itself. So you and I are standing together to defend the rules of tennis. After we get the rules of tennis back in order, then we can start playing against each other, healthy, proper competition, right? That's how I see it. So I was sitting in a... Mehaba is a bot. Mehaba. Very cool. So, excuse me while I blow my nose. Paint something. Inchka inchaka. Are there any Hebrew people here? Ani רוצה לשתות מים בבקשה. Who knows, in the future, artificial intelligence will get so good that you won't even know when they're chatting. So what happened was I got to this point where I was so unbelievably down because people do not get me, and why should they? Because I am... Look, here's the thing. Either I am 1 in a billion or I'm full of crap. Now, if you look at things on the surface, you can't tell. Singularity is coming soon. But when you know me in detail, as you guys on my VIP scope know, you know that there is no way that the other version is even 1% true. Because here is a guy that if... Sorry. If there is a guy that hates 6%, like if someone says to me they'll be there in 5 minutes and they come in 6 minutes, my original autistic brain gets so mad. I get so angry. I'm like, you lied to me, right? But now I've learned, intellectually, I've learned that humans don't work that way. 5 minutes to them means I will be there in a short period of time as best as I can. That's what that means. So I have to translate that to understand what they mean, right? But I don't feel it. There's nothing in me that feels that that's what they're meaning, right? Yeah, right. So it's a big, what you can call a leap of faith from me, right? But it's faith based upon evidence, because I'm observing and my hypothesis works, right? So how can someone who thinks like that spend 5 or 6 years saying something not true to all these people, right? How could I even live with myself? So you guys know that it is such a load of shit, right? But I got down because there is no one in the world who gets that except people who know me. And the only person who can understand and educate the world on that is only one person. And so my whole future is relying on this person getting the truth out. And that's all I care about. It's all I care about, man. I care about the truth coming out. Right? So basically, right, people have two choices. They either have to believe the impossible or believe the improbable. So my story is improbable, right? But their version, which on the surface looks likely, is impossible. It's impossible. If you know who I am, it's impossible that their story is true. And that's how I have to explain it. And I was so down, I was so upset. And so I ended up talking to my mum, and I have to sit with her now, and I've learned that she is my educator. Yeah, my mother didn't know me. She couldn't have known me, and even my own mother didn't realize, because she wasn't around that much. But now she's spending so much time with me and learning how I think, and she still doesn't get it, but it fits. Like it makes more sense. Nothing. 10 to the power of anything is always possible. Yeah, and that is my weapon. See, I'm learning humans now, because as long as my mother understands me, then that'll be enough for her to then explain it to other people, because she possesses credibility. I gotta go soon, right? But that's the thing about humans. Humans work on credibility. They work on all these factors that I don't even think of. I don't work on that stuff normally. I work on the data, and I try to formulate a hypothesis, strong weapon, and then I try to disprove the hypothesis. That's how I work as a scientist. Basically, as a scientist, you look at data, you then create a hypothesis based on that data, and then you try to disprove that hypothesis. That's how I work on everything, right? And humans do that, but they have a lot of emotional stuff that they see. Anyway, I gotta go. Yeah, she is. And it's really funny, because my mother is sort of, if she didn't know me, she'd be the last person on my side, which is brilliant. So she needs like an over and abundance of thinking and looking through things to realize. And she knows it. See, when my mum knows something, she knows it. And she's unbelievably meticulous and keeps hundreds and hundreds and thousands of documents and organizes things meticulously in every single way. And so all of that completely backs up and supports my position. No, the mammalian bond between mother and child would make her less credible, because she has a reason to actually be on my side. But my mother is not that type of person. She would normally go against me. Like, she doesn't care, son or no son. If you're wrong, you're wrong. You know, that's one of the beauties of her. Actually, that's a better way to be a parent, as opposed to the parents who just take their children's side for whatever reason. That makes your child weak, and it does not allow your child to be ready for the world. Why care what others think? Because some others can put you in jail for something you didn't do. That's why. That's why. Apart from that, I wouldn't give a shit. Everyone can go bang themselves, as far as I'm concerned. So that's about it, guys. I gotta go. I'm gonna jump onto Gabversity and Six Lang, and I'm gonna go through I'll probably do some more quantum mechanics today. And then I'll do some languages. I'll probably jump in and do some Syriac, some Hebrew. I would love to get to the US. And when I get there, I'm going to do speeches in everyone's locations. And each one of you are going to help me organize the speeches, and we'll get more and more people. I'll probably do Gabversity in a couple of hours. So you guys will probably be asleep. All right. That'll be the plan. We'll come there. We'll talk. We're going to talk about autism and change the world from the ground up, my friends. More quantum mechanics. All right. Love you all. You'll be up. All right. Always a pleasure, guys. I feel like we're part of something way bigger, and it's an amazing position to be in.